Alright guys, so today we have 8 games plus a couple of interesting stories to cover, and I don't want to waste any more of your time, so let's just get right into it. If any of you ever doubted that DeMarcus Cousins wanted to stay in Sacramento and have his jersey hanging from the rafters like he said he did, well, what I'm about to tell and show you might change your opinion on that. Now this video isn't brand new, alright, but I just now saw it and I think it goes pretty well with the news that just came out, so I'm gonna show it to you guys anyways, and here it is.
My love for this city will never change.
Love you, Boogie.
Love you, Boogie. My love for this city will never change. Even though I'm gone, it'll still be the same. You know, I'm still looking out for these kids. Every family in this city matters to me. Every soul in the city matters to me. So everything's the same. I'm just not in the King uniform anymore, which is okay because you know the love is still here. It's still gonna go on, man. Thank you, everybody.
Alright, Cousins had a bad rap. Seen as being a guy with just, you know, these emotional and anger problems. And back in Sacramento, it's no secret that on the court, when it comes to the refs, he did have a hard time hiding how he felt. But it appears that off the court, none of that applies. Back when the news broke that he planned on signing a contract extension, some people thought, you know, it was a bad move for his career and that he was just staying for the money. And I had seen reports about how much he loved Sacktown, you know, talking about volunteer work he did there, and looking back on a story of when he paid for a high school football player's funeral after he was murdered while driving. And it wasn't for notoriety or anything. He wanted to be an anonymous sponsor for the funeral, but the media found out about it, and they weren't gonna let it go unnoticed. So you could see that his heart was there. And after seeing the video, that really only proves that he actually did care about Sacramento. It wasn't for the money. Well, I'm sure the money would have helped in his decision to stay, but it was really for the Sacramento and the people of Sacramento that he wanted to stay. Which leads us to this. DeMarcus Cousins blasting the Kings front office for trading him in the manner that they did. In this article, DeMarcus Cousins called the Kings cowards for how they traded him. He specifically mentioned Vlade Divac in this article, saying that a week before the trade, Divac and his agent showed up to his house, DeMarcus Cousins' house, and went over with him what they planned to do as far as trades go. And he was also assured that he would not be traded. And we all know what happened. So Vlade Divac comes to DeMarcus Cousins' house, lies to him in front of his face, says that he's not going to be traded. And then a week or so later, he's staying in New Orleans after the All-Star break. And of course you know that that's going to rub Cousins the wrong way. After the trade, Cousins then said that Divac attempted to call him, but Cousins didn't answer. And when the media asked him why he didn't answer, he said, "Nah, for what? It was a coward move. So I'm pretty sure I would have gotten a coward response." And we all know the response that Divac gave to the media too. He said something along the lines of, "We needed to remove the dark cloud from over the organization in order to move forward," or something like that, you know, basically blaming Cousins for their inability to win. Instead of saying, "Hey, you know what? We screwed up with him and we never gave him much talent around him to work with. And in order to save face, we traded him to put the blame of the organization onto him and not us." See, if Vlad Divac was being honest, that's what he would have said. But you know, overall, it was just good to hear and see that DeMarcus Cousins will still be giving back to the people of Sacramento. You know, that's always great to see, and props to you, DeMarcus Cousins. Do not worry, LeBron, you have just gotten yourself your playmaker, and a pretty good one at that. So in case you didn't hear, the Cavs and Deron Williams will be signing a contract after Deron Williams cleared his waivers from the Dallas Mavericks, which is funny, because the Cavs had reached out to Dallas about a potential trade for Williams after LeBron came out and said they needed a playmaker, and I guess they got denied by Dallas. But you know, it appears that some things are just meant to work out in your favor. And now Williams, of course, is nowhere near the same player he was back in his Utah days, back when, you know, there was actually discussion between who was better, you know, Deron Williams or Chris Paul. But he's still a more than serviceable backup point guard, and every now and then he can even have a game when he looks like the old Deron Williams a bit too. But most importantly, he's a guy that LeBron James can trust when LeBron's not on the court, because that's really why LeBron wanted a playmaker so much, because the Cavs offense struggles when LeBron takes a rest, which is why he's amongst the league leaders in minutes played so far this year. So overall, I'm just sure LeBron James is thrilled with this signing. In the last news of the day, the agent of Knicks point guard Derrick Rose came out and told the media that Derrick Rose wants to stay in New York. And he also gave his opinion on Derrick Rose being shopped towards the trade deadline. Take a listen. It was an opportunity to see what his value truly was throughout the league. So as you can see, through all the reports, there were teams that was interested in him and what he does and what he brings on the court. And he also went on to say this: Derrick is putting together game by game, coming back and really beginning to play at a consistent level to where he's at and what he's going to be at this stage of his career. So I think there was a lot of rumors. His name was out there, but in the end, I think the Knicks did what they thought was in their best interest. Why do I get the feeling that this was just a publicity stunt, basically advertising him as a free agent so they can try to land Rose the max or a close to max contract? Now, this is no shots fired towards Rose at all, but I think it's been made pretty clear that the Knicks aren't interested in re-signing him. And it just wouldn't make sense for the organization going forward. Look, the Melo Rose Porzingis experiment isn't working and it's not going to work. They already have a bad contract in Joakim Noah, and there's no way at all that they're going to give even more money into a failed experiment. So even if Derrick Rose does want to stay in New York, I can't see it happening past this season. And that about wraps up all the news for today. Now let's get into the quick recaps of the games from last night. Karma was on New York's side last night against the Sixers. If you remember, earlier on in the season, TJ McConnell had hit a game winner against New York, and this time it was Melo's chance to respond as he sunk the jumper with under a second remaining to give the Knicks the 110-109 win. Carmelo Anthony finished the game with 37 points and 6 rebounds, and Jahlil Okafor led the way for Philly with 28 points and 10 rebounds. The new look Pelicans are struggling out of the gate so far as they drop their second game under the new AD/DC era. 96-83 is the final score, with the Dallas Mavericks taking the W in the debut of Nerlens Noel. Noel had 9 points and 10 rebounds in his 30 minutes off the bench, and just like the old days though, Dirk Nowitzki led Dallas to the win with 18 points and 9 rebounds. And for New Orleans, Anthony Davis, did have one of his usually dominant games with 39 points and 14 rebounds, and Cousins didn't shoot much, but he still had 12 points, 15 rebounds, and 6 assists. This game really showcased the power of the three-point shot, as that was the weapon the Rockets used to beat Minnesota 142-130 last night. Minnesota shot the ball better from the field and out-rebounded the Rockets 58-32. However, like I said, the Rockets won with the three ball as they hit 21 from beyond the arc and the Wolves hit 9. 24 points and 10 assists for James Harden, and Eric Gordon and Lou Williams combined for 31 off the bench. Towns and Wiggins both with excellent games, however. Towns becoming just the third player this season to record a 30-point and 20 rebound game, as he had 37 points and 22 rebounds, and Wiggins scored 30 himself. Without Kevin Durant, the Warriors still become the fastest team in NBA history to clinch a playoff berth with a 112-95 win over the Nets. Of course, Steph Curry and Klay Thompson did the scoring bulk for the Warriors last night. 27 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists for Curry, and 24 points for Klay Thompson, as every Warrior except Kevin Looney gets into the box score. And for the Nets, they only lost by 17, so that's something to celebrate about, I guess. LeBron James sat out last night for the Cleveland Cavaliers, and we all know the results of the games when that happens. The team not named the Cleveland Cavaliers more often than not gets the win. Just like the Chicago Bulls did last night, 117-99. Dwayne Wade was 1 rebound shy of a triple-double with 20 points, 10 assists, and 9 rebounds, and he had a chance to get that last rebound, but his teammate Felicio just wasn't having it. Cameron Payne scored 6 points in his Chicago debut, and Jimmy Butler added 18. For Cleveland, Kyrie Irving led the way with 34 points, 9 rebounds, and 7 assists. Terrence Ross wasn't so impressive in his first action for Orlando, but he made up for it with an impressive showing against Atlanta last night. He scored 24 points on 10 of 15 shooting to lead the Magic to the 105-86 win blowout over Atlanta. Aaron Gordon had 18 points, and Alfred Payton was just 1 rebound and 1 assist shy of a triple-double with 15 points, 9 rebounds, and 9 assists. Tim Hardaway Jr. had 15 points for the Hawks. Led by the big three of Waiters, Whiteside, and Dragic, the Miami Heat continue to win with a 113-95 victory over Indiana. The big three scored at least 20 points apiece, 22 points for each Waiters and Whiteside. Whiteside also grabbed 17 rebounds, and Goran Dragic scored 21 points. Miles Turner scored 18 for Indiana, and the Heat are now only 5 games below 500 and are still creeping up on that 8th seed in the Eastern Conference. This is why I told Kings fans not to get too excited after their win on Thursday. This is kind of what we had expected to see out of them that game. They dropped the ball last night and fell to the struggling Charlotte Hornets 99-85. Frank Kaminsky, aka Frank the Tank, balled out for Charlotte with 23 points and 13 rebounds, and Ben McLemore had 18 for the Kings. Buddy Hield also scored 15 off the bench. And that about wraps up all the action for the day 124 recap of the 2016-2017 NBA season, and now it's time to get into the player of the day. As always, only players whose team won are eligible to win. And yesterday, the winner was DeMar DeRozan with his 43 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists. And here are today's nominees. You have Stephen Curry and his 27 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists. Hassan Whiteside and his 22 points, 17 rebounds. James Harden and his 24 points and 10 assists. Or Carmelo Anthony and his 37 points, 6 rebounds, including the game winner. You guys can go vote for the player of the day right now. The link to the poll will be in the description box below. Other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Leave a like on it if you did, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already for more daily NBA videos. And until tomorrow, keep getting the buckets, Team SDC, and I'm out of here. Peace!